A lot of progressive men do not hold the politic that they express publicly. They do not hold that same progressive politic within their romantic and intimate lives. And this is largely because patriarchy is such a beast in Western society that ever since childhood, they have been informed that if they want to be seen as any form of masculine, the only acceptable expression of emotion is either neutrality or aggression. And if they can make the argument that that aggression is about protecting themselves and or others, the bounds of that aggression can actually go pretty far. Now, because patriarchy has no gender, when they go into the dating world, it is reaffirmed that the only acceptable expressions of emotions as a masculine man are neutrality and or a form of aggression. Childhood to adulthood, the family life, the dating life, and society at large reaffirm that there is nowhere safe for them to express any other form of emotion. And that emotionally stunts the capacity that they have to show up with that progressive politic in their intimate lives. Because what will happen is that they can get pretty far as adults in the family structure and, siblings, parents, and then with the public, because their progressive politic only requires them to perform certain tasks. It does not ask for an emotional capacity. And especially for cis het progressive men, it is often that only the women they are engaging with romantically are asking them for this emotional depth. And so they'll be like, everyone else is fine with me. Why are you asking so much of me? And this reminds me of the interview I did with Kiese Layman and his book Heavy, which I tell every man should read that book. It speaks to a lot of what I'm talking about here, but he was talking about, trying to be tender with his homeboys or getting his homeboys at least to be tender with themselves.
I think tenderness is so much more important than all of that other shit. I think attempting to use language to talk about why some of us have an aversion or a propensity to want to be tender or to not, like, that's what I'm trying to talk to my friends about and myself about. Like why is tenderness something we attempt to avoid? And when we show so obviously that we need and want it, then we try to tighten up.
And I think tender is a much nicer way to talk about like emotional depth and capacity, which you will find a lot of progressive men lacking in the intimate sphere. They're not tender with themselves. So in the intimate sphere, they have a hard time being tender with others. The intimate sphere is the only place really, until they have children of an older age, where they are asked or they are required to have a level of emotional depth. And if they're constantly being told that that depth is not safe to express, how would they ever stretch that muscle in order to be able to show up with the appropriate capacity in the intimate or romantic sphere with the progressive politic that they espouse publicly? A conundrum.
I said you fall in love with goofies, I was never your type.
I got all the hoes. I'm up to no good. For real. We like tank tops.
We like Instagram likes.
And we smashing your check. We are light skinned and we can help you.